You're tuned in to the American Cream. The American Cream. The American Cream. A show for people seeking truth about money and how to really achieve the American dream with cream. During the next hour, you're invited to learn how credit, real estate, entrepreneurship, assets, and mindset are essential to helping you achieve the American dream. American dream. American dream. Please join your host, Hyacinth Henderson, for today's episode.
Happy Saturday. Today is Saturday, October 19th, 2019, and it is such a beautiful, amazing day in the neighborhood. If you are listening to the sound of my voice, then congratulations, you still have work to do. You are here on the face of this earth, on this planet, because your time is not done yet, and there's still more for you to do. So you should alone be excited about that, no matter what your present circumstances are, no matter what's on your mind, no matter what bills or debt you owe. You should understand the very important fact that you are here, and it is a gift for you to be here. So thank you so much for listening to me. I am Hyacinth Henderson, and you are listening to the American Cream Show. CREAM stands for credit, real estate, entrepreneurship, assets, and mindset. And the American Cream Show is designed with you in mind. The American Cream Show is a financial education show that guides you, leads you, and teaches you how to redefine the American dream on your terms with cream. See, now the key word is your terms. That's the key phrase, because most times, many a times, and oftentimes, we have found that we just do what we're told to do, and we don't really process why we're doing things. We don't really understand the workings and the inner mechanics of why things are happening and why someone is suggesting that we do things this way. And so the American Cream Show prompts you to redefine that, prompts you to look at that and say, hey, why am I doing what you told me to do with my money in hopes of getting to the financial freedom promised land, when I know that there are some things that I don't know, and I want to do it a little bit differently? Because as you look around, the average American, I'm talking to you right now, the average American, it doesn't matter if you make $1 or if you make $100,000. If you are an average American, you are doing what you've been told, and I guarantee you and I promise you, if you only do what you've been told, if you only do what your HR department tells you to do, if you only do what your friends, your relatives, your neighbors tell you to do, such as put your money in a 401k, buy a house right out of college, go to college, get student loan debt, if you only do that, you will never, ever reach the financial freedom promised land. And that is a fact, my friends. But have no fear, Hyacinth is here. The American Cream Show is here to show you and teach you to redefine on your terms. So what that means is I am not going to feed you and sell you and tell you the foolishness that regular people do or that the average person does, because I want you to think and be above average. Like, there is so much inside of you. If you're listening to this, you are destined and birthed to be more than you think you are. It doesn't matter where you are. You just understand the simple fact that you are destined. You are here right now to be more than you think you are. And understanding that means, okay, well, if Hyacinth is telling me that I am more than I think I am, then let me explore this money thing a little bit more, because we're going to break it down in such a way that you start to make your own decisions. We're going to break it down in such a way that you learn to silence the voice of average people, of small-minded people, and you stop doing what they're telling you to do, because they ain't got no money anyway. Trust me, I've been doing this for 17 years. I have seen it all. I see it all every single day. So for those of you who are just joining me, for those of you who are new to the sound of this lovely voice, I know I'm a woman on the man. So for the next hour, it is 1210, the man with the whoa, right? So whenever you hear me, it's not just the man station. It's the man and the woman show. It's the man and the woman station, because I understand that we need both. Yes, men rock. Yes, girls rock. We get together, we need both. So when you hear me, It's the man and the woman. And I am Hyacinth Henderson. Who is Hyacinth Henderson? Because this is my second week on this radio station. And so last week I was just getting back from being gone, from being away in the beautiful country of Morocco for 2 weeks. And so got off a plane, had a few days to try to get readjusted to sunny South Florida, and I was on the radio. And so last week was my first week, and I gave a little bit of backstory of history, not much. It was just kind of like a teaser, like sticking my toe in the water to figure out what is this, where am I, who's my audience, and things like that. But this week we're going all in. So it's only my second week on this station. For those of you who are new to me, if you have not looked me up on the internet, look me up. Hyacinth Henderson, Hyacinth. You can find me on all social media platforms. That's Facebook, LinkedIn, and the website is also hyacinthhenderson.com. The firm website is thehendersonfinancialgroup.com. Speaking of the firm, yes, I'm not just some lady who rolled out of bed at 4:30 on a Saturday morning to come and talk to you about money with no experience. I am actually a stockbroker. I'm actually a registered investment advisor. I'm actually an annuity and insurance broker. And we have a firm, believe it or not. My dad started it 30 years ago. I've been there for 17 years, right? 17 years. I see my dad 5 days a week, sometimes more if we're traveling. And we have a full office staff and team, support staff. We got advisors. We got other planners. It's the full show, right? It's just not Hyacinth waking up, getting on the radio in the morning. So at the Henderson Financial Group, what do? We are full service financial planning and investment advisory services. That's what we do. Been doing it 30 years. I love what I do. The reason that I love what I do is because I found that money is a conversation that everybody needs to be having, but nobody wants to have it unless they're in trouble. It's like, I don't want to talk about money until I need some money, and that's when I want to talk about it. And I am committed to changing that because money is such a beautiful tool. Let me say this again. Money is such a beautiful tool. And when you have tools, you understand, just like a hammer and a saw and whatever other tools, a screwdriver, maybe that's a tool. The value isn't in the tool. The value is in what you create with the tool. So money is such a beautiful tool for you to create the life that you are destined and born here to create. So we don't worship money. We worship or we honor the things that money can do for us. So at the Henderson Financial Group, we do full service financial planning and investment advisory. And we really pride ourselves on educating people about how to use this tool called money, right? So think about it. I don't make things. I had to do a project for my son 2 weeks ago, right after I got back from Morocco, and I was freaking out about this. Like, this isn't what I do. I don't do that type of stuff. So if you come to me and you say, Hyacinth, here is the best power drill on the market. This thing is so valuable. It's worth thousands of dollars, and people all over, would literally give you their firstborn child for this power drill. I don't understand the value of that power drill. I don't understand just what it can do, what it can't do. If I don't understand that, I'm going to put that power drill to the side and be like, yeah, whatever. I'm good. I don't need that. I don't want that. And it's not because the tool isn't valuable. It's because I'm ignorant. Yeah, let me say that again because it's the second week. So I'm here. You got me here on a Saturday morning, 6 a.m. Let's get real. It's not because the tool isn't valuable. Money isn't any less valuable because of your ignorance. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to talk about how to educate you so that you then shift from being an average American, and 99% of the population is average. It doesn't matter how much money they make. They're still average in their thinking. So on this show, we're going to educate, and that's what we do at the Henderson Financial Group. I love to make the distinction between financial planning and investment advisory. Financial planning is what we love, what we pride ourselves on. It is looking at the entire picture. That means you come into our office, you sit down, you say, hey, I'm finally ready to have this money conversation. Here is where I am. Here's where I'd like to be. And these are the things that matter. And then we, as the professionals, as the experts, we then use all our different tools in our tool belt: stocks, bonds, life insurance. Those are tools. We use those to make your financial plan worth something. So we do financial planning and investment advisory. Investment advisory is saying, hey, I just want investment advice. That may be you won the lotto. Believe it or not, we get a lot of lotto winners. Not sure how that happens or why that happens, but thank you for coming to us at the Henderson Financial Group so that you don't spend all your lottery earnings. You actually make your money work for you. But investment advisory means you just want to invest. Like, you may have a lump sum of money, whether it's a lotto winning, it may be a rollover, it may be an inheritance, or whatever the case may be. Maybe you have a financial plan that someone has put together for you, but now you need investment advice. So there is a difference between the two, and we do all of them. We do them both again, but when you come into the office, we're going to encourage you to look at your total financial picture, because we don't want to just sell you the shell. That's like me saying, hey, I got a brand new Corvette for you, and it has no engine in it. Like, you'd be like, yeah, give me the Corvette. It's red. It's nice. It's shiny. It's new. It's the 2020 Corvette. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to give you a 2020 Corvette. You don't even owe me anything. You go downstairs, you try to crank up the Corvette, and it doesn't go anywhere. Why? Because you don't have the engine in it. That is what it means when you just come in here like, hey, I just want to buy, Apple. Or, hey, I just want to buy options. Someone inboxed me on the internet the other day. Hey, what do you think about options? Well, it depends. And we do full service financial planning, right? So I don't want to just give you the shell and make you feel like you're doing something without giving you the engine. And the engine is your financial plan. All right, got it. So today, going back to the example, I started talking about tools and jackhammers and me being ignorant and not knowing how to use a jackhammer. That leads me into my today's topic is it your ignorance or is it your ego? Dun, 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 dun. Yes. Did she say that? I did say that. Before I go further, let me remind you that you are listening to me on 1210 AM The Man. You can find us online at 1210theman.com. You can also find us on all internet platforms at 1210theman.com. But don't forget, when you're listening, when you hear the sound of my voice, I am not a man, I'm a woman. So it's 1210 The Man with the whoa. Got it? Good. All right. So today we are talking about, is it your ignorance or is it your ego? Now, I know those are two terms that most, people, women clutch their pearls, or men hold on to their briefcases. Did she just ask me, am I ignorant? Or did she just ask me, am I being egotistical? Like, you can process it the way, however you need to process it, but that's the question of the hour. And the question of the hour means, how are you making decisions? Because remember, the M in CREAM stands for mindset. And your mindset is important. Your mindset is going to determine how you do things. Your mindset is going to determine if you are able to go from being an average American, like 99% of the population, and move to an above average American, right? If you're able to sit at the elite club, it's going to be your mindset. And your mindset is something that most people discount and don't really want to tap into and take accountability for. So we're going to shake that up today. And I'm asking you, is it your ignorance and your ego? And so let's talk about ignorance. Ignorance is simply when you lack knowledge of something. I just told you that I am ignorant to the value of a power hammer, jackhammer, power drill. Maybe it was a power drill. I just explained to you that it doesn't matter how much the power drill costs or what you tell me that it can do until I am educated, until I learn and understand, until I make something, then I'm ignorant. So why I would need a power drill? Like, I got a screwdriver. Why do I need a power drill? So in that case, I'm ignorant to that. Many of you are ignorant to the fact that money is to be used as a tool. And because of that ignorance, you go around making blind decisions or ignorant decisions when it comes to things like your 401k, when it comes to things like your relationship with real estate, when it comes to things like all financial decisions. And at this point, wow, I have been talking for 14 minutes. I am hyped up this morning. We have to go to a quick commercial break. Right after this commercial break, we'll touch on your ignorance and then we'll get into your ego.
You know, Linda, people have worked very hard all their entire lives to save what they thought was enough for retirement.
Robert, what is enough? Especially in today's volatile stock market, so many people are concerned that they just may not have enough to retire. So what can they do?
You know, all it really takes is sitting down with someone at the Henderson Financial Group to first educate you and then discuss your personal goals and objectives and working out a plan to help you succeed.
I agree. I'm Linda V. Harris, Vice President of the Henderson Financial Group and a retirement planning specialist.
And I'm Robert Henderson Jr., Certified Financial Planner, the President of the Henderson Financial Group.
What I love about us at the Henderson Financial Group, Robert, is we've helped so many people just like you, just like our listening audience, prepare for a successful and prosperous retirement.
Don't wait. Call our office today at 305-825-1444, and you'll be glad you did.
All right. I'm back. We had to take a quick commercial break. I hope you actually listen to those commercials because Mr. Henderson, which happens to be my father, shout out to my pop, and my aunt, Vice President Linda Harris, they're on the commercials. They do an amazing and fantastic job, and they really do drop some nuggets. So make sure you tune into the commercial breaks because we're trying to educate you. And if you ever have any questions, call us at the office, 305-825-1444. Okay, where was I? We're talking about ignorance and ego because you want to get this money thing right. And if you want to get this money thing right, you're going to have to address like the two things that you don't want to address that you probably don't know that you need to address. And that is your ignorance, either your lack of knowledge about something or your ego. And ego is one of those like 3-letter words that is so huge that people get all ruffled. I mean, if you want to like push someone's buttons, be like, oh, is that your ego talking? Oh gosh, it is like, oh, it's like you just gave them a gut punch because they don't want to talk about their ego. But the ego, here's the thing, we got to talk about our ego. Ego is neither good nor bad. It just is. And when I use the term, when I ask you, is it your ignorance or your ego? I'm asking you, is it your conscious mind? Is it really like you trying to be right, like you wanting to be right, but not using knowledge, right? So you see how both of them have to do with lack of knowledge, ignorance and ego, both are tied to your lack of knowledge. And the reason why I break it down to this very simple question with these very simple options, these two options, is because I firmly believe that if you knew better, you would do better. So I want you to think about that. Is it the fact that you don't know? Or is it that you know, but you still think that what you know is right? Like, are you still trying to base your decisions on your level of understanding without acknowledging that there could be a different way, where there could be a deeper way, where there could be some stuff like there are things in life that you know. There are things in life that you don't know. And then there are things in life that you don't even know that you don't even know. Let me say that again. There are things in life that you know. There are things in life that you don't know. And then there are those things in life that you don't know that you don't even know. Like many years ago, I found out about a blood type diet. And I remember I was sitting in the nail salon, woman thing here, sitting in the nail salon waiting to get my nails done. And I was doing a searching for something and it led me down the rabbit hole. There is an entire like community of people. There is books, literature, groups, apps, everything for eating for your blood type. Eating for your blood type says if you have blood type A, then you should follow this diet. If you have blood type B, you should follow that diet. If you have blood type O, then you should follow this diet. And the point of me sharing this story is to tell you that before the day that I was sitting in the nail shop doing a Google search, I had no clue that existed. I had no clue that eating for your blood type was a thing. And then here's the thing. My blood type is A positive. I have always teetered with a primarily vegetarian diet, now more so plant-based, but I've always primarily teetered that way. When I found out about that, that blood type diet and realized that A positive people thrive on fruits and vegetables as opposed to meat and dairy. And then it was like, wow, my inner being, my inner knowing knew this all alone. Again, the point of me sharing this story is you probably didn't even know that. You didn't know that there was a thing such as eating for your blood type. Who knew, right? So imagine how many other things are out there that you just don't know. All right, boom. Ignorance or ego. Let's talk about real estate. For those of you who have been, listening to me or engaging with me, I hate to use the term following because, it's such a cliche term, but for those of you who have been connected with me in some way or the other, you know that I'm an advocate of real estate. And get this, I don't go out and show people houses. So it's not that I am an advocate of real estate because I want you to call me and ask me to drive you around town to show you houses. I don't want to do that. I don't want to get in and out of the car in hot, humid, sunny South Florida and deal with your indecisiveness on finding a house. Is not what I want to do. So I don't do that. But I love real estate. And my love for real estate is apparent. And my love for real estate stems from the fact that real estate is something that we're always going to need. People are always going to need places to live. You need, one of the basic needs is shelter. You need food, clothing, and shelter. We think that we need the internet. You don't need the internet, but you do need shelter. And so where does shelter come in the form of? Real estate. So I love real estate, and I firmly believe and I know that real estate is a great way for you to generate passive income. Now, with you being connected to me and understanding that I absolutely love real estate, even though I don't want to show you real estate because you just don't want to get in and out of a hot car and deal with your indecisiveness, now is not the time for you to be buying real estate. Let me say that again. People are always calling me and inboxing me. Hey, I got a friend and he was telling me about this deal and blah, 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 blah. Anybody selling you real estate right now is selling you real estate because they realize that the market is shifting. The market is getting ready to shift and they want to get out now. So they are the winner and you are the loser. Yes, I said it. Anyone that is set, unless of course there may be an estate sale or some real deal, like rare real jug deal that you have happened upon or whatever, and it's just like the right opportunity, then okay. But just going to a realtor and saying, hey, Hyacinth loves real estate so much, she tells me it's a great way to build my portfolio and develop passive income. Let me buy some real estate. Now's not the time for that. And so we're going to take ignorance off the table right now because I'm going to educate you and tell you that the people who are selling their real estate understand that things go in waves and things are cyclical. And they're like, hey, I've had my run. I've made my money. Let me get out of this. Sell it to someone who's ignorant and doesn't know that now is not the time to be buying real estate and move on. So we're going to take ignorance off the table. When we move into ego, ask yourself if you're making an egoic decision. What does that look like? That looks like Hyacinth just told me that now is not the time to be buying real estate. I know this price for this property is high. I know that we've been riding this economic wave of good times. Come on. Like we've been riding that and things have to change. I know that they've been whispering about the R word, recession and things like that, but I want to buy a house anyway. I want to buy this property anyway. That is your ego speaking. Your ego says, I know that, or I've been educated, or I hear what you're saying, but I'm going to do it my way anyway. And it may be a combination of both. So as you think about real estate, what I want you to do, because again, I love real estate, even though I'm not showing you no property, getting in and out of the car in sunny South Florida with your indecisiveness, not doing that. As you think about real estate and as you think about developing a love for real estate as well, get this, people. I want you to be looking at it in such a way that you understand that you're not buying now, but because you aren't buying now does not mean that you're balling out now. Yes, that means because you aren't buying real estate right now doesn't mean that you're taking all your money and balling, spending it on clothes, cars, and shoes and trips. You aren't doing that now. Now is the time for you to be stacking your cash. You are going to remember this day. I'm all over the internet saying it. You need two things. You need cash and you need credit. Because when the market changes, When your neighbors start losing their homes, when people start getting on TV, when people start foreclosing, when they say, you know what, I can't handle this property anymore, that is your time to strike. That's when you say, ooh, Hyacinth said realestateisthebomb.com. Now I want some of this. And the only way that you can do that is if you have cash and credit. And I stress cash because if you want to get into a commercial property, which is really where the big money is, you're going to need to put down a hefty down payment. Save your money. Like, stack your money up. It's not time to be balling. If you want to get into a property, you're going to need cash. And then when the market changes, the lending, you're going to go through a period where, like right now, I think I got a few emails yesterday that said stated income is back. Let me explain what that means. I didn't open the email to see what the details were, but as I start seeing these emails flood my inbox that say stated income is back, I'm rubbing my hands saying, all right, Hyacinth, it's almost time. They're getting ready to lose their minds. Let me tell you what that means. For those who don't understand what stated income is, stated income is a term that we use in the mortgage qualification process. So traditionally, when you want to qualify for a property, they want things like your pay stubs, your W-2s, your tax returns, your firstborn kid, lock of hair. They want all those things to qualify you for a property to make sure that your income will support the debt that you're going to engage in. Like you're going to need some money. If you're not buying a house cash, you're going to need some money, and they want to make sure that your income supports that. So they usually ask for all these supporting documents, and people are like, okay, boom, I'll give you my, pay stub, W-2, check my credit, firstborn kid, you can have her. She eats too much anyway. Like, people are good with that. And that's the normal protocol, right? Stated income says, we don't even need that. Whatever you state, whatever you say is your income, we believe you. Let me say that again. Did you even know that that was a thing? Like, did you know that that existed? Google it. Stated income, S-T-A-T-E-D. Stated income means whatever you state your income is, we believe you. Now, you got to ask yourself, because in life, there's always trade-offs, right? So if you're willing, you mean to tell me whatever I state as my income, you're going to believe me is he going to believe my income? Absolutely. What's the trade-off, though? The trade-off is likely a higher interest rate. The trade-off is likely you need to put more money down. But at this point, you just want to get into the property anyway. And for some reason, your pay stubs, your tax returns, or whatever the case may be, doesn't support your income on paper. So you're looking for a program that's going to allow you to state your income. But here's the thing, right? So when I see emails like that start to flood my inbox, stated income is back, I say, oh, they're getting ready to lose their mind. What does that mean? People who are probably not supposed to be buying properties, they're getting ready to start buying these properties because they just want it at all costs. They want to circumvent the natural process. They want to buck the system. And since you want to buck the system and just do stated income, then you already know something's going downhill, like down the line. So when I see that, people are going to start buying these properties, stated income, things like that. They're, okay, we're getting property, you get a property, you get a property, you get a property, no problem. But then when they can't afford the properties, or then when the properties don't pay for themselves, when there's no income coming for the properties, guess what's going to happen next? They're going to lose the properties. They're going to foreclose. And they don't really care anyway because they know everything goes in cycles. Foreclose today, rebuild my credit tomorrow, do it all over again in a few years. Woohoo! Enjoy the ride. So what that tells me as a professional, and what I'm telling you as you move from average American to American creamer, right, above average, I'm telling you that when you see things such as stated income is back, when you see I can get you in with no money down, that's your cue to save more of your money. That's your cue to sit tight, because they are acting in desperation. They're like, hey, we're going to loan you this money and you don't even got to prove your income. We're going to loan you this money and you don't even have to put no money down. That's pretty desperate to me. And if that's pretty desperate, all you got to do is sit back and get your cash and your credit in order. Because when the stuff hits the fan, can we cuss on this radio station? Can we? I'll find out later. When the stuff hits the fan, you need to be ready with your cash and your credit. I don't know about credit too much because, let me say this, I'm not let me rephrase that. I do know about credit. I know a lot about credit. What I meant to say is that when stuff hits the fan, we don't know how the lending requirements are going to change and the lending restrictions. Because generally, when the economy shifts, the bank starts to hold on to their money. So your credit won't be as worth as much as it is now, because they won't be freely giving away money, because they're freely giving it away now for programs like stated income. So you're going to need credit to show your credit worthiness, but more than anything, you're going to need cash. And you're going to need cash so that you can get into a property with little to you're going to need cash so that you can get into a property that has a lot of equity. You're going to need cash so that you can get into a property for pennies on the dollar, and then you can be a part of the real estate game. They're giving me the eye again. It's time for another commercial. We got to talk about these commercial breaks. I'll be back in a few moments. Hyacinth, Henderson, the American Cream Show on 1210, the man with the woe.
Hi, I'm Robert Henderson, Jr., Certified Financial Planner, President of the Henderson Financial Group. And I want to ask a question. Are you planning on retiring soon?
You know, Robert, a lot of people work their entire lives with that goal in mind. And if you're planning on retiring, especially within the next 3 years, you absolutely have to give us a call at the Henderson Financial Group. We have so many retirement strategies, especially as an independent financial planning firm, that will fit your specific retirement goals and objectives.
And I'm glad you said that, because retirement planning is totally different from investment planning. And you know, Linda, a lot of people get that mixed up, because most people, when they're getting ready to retire, they probably just put their money with some retirement firm, with some investment house, and they just put the money there and they want to make it grow. But that's not retirement planning. You know, when you come to us, we help you decide and we educate you on whether you should take a lump sum distribution or receive scheduled monthly payments.
Absolutely. We can give you the tools and the information to help you navigate and make the best choices for you and your family specifically.
So remember, retirement planning is totally different from investment planning. If you need more information, please call us at the Henderson Financial Group. Call today at 305-825-1444.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You're still listening to the American Cream Show with Hyacinth Henderson. I am still the woman on the man, but it's all good. We're having a great time here, and life is absolutely great. Today is Saturday, October 19, 2019. It's about 6:30 in the morning. We're at the halfway mark. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to the American Cream radio show. The American Cream Show is where I show you, teach you, guide you on how to redefine the American dream on your terms, not anyone else's terms, not your mama, sister, cousin, auntie, HR department lady's terms, but on your terms with credit, real estate, entrepreneurship, assets, and mindset, because those are the 5 things that you got to get in order so that you can achieve financial freedom and financial greatness. So that's what we do on the American Cream Show. It's my second week on the man. I'm not a man. I am the whoa man on the man, but it's all good. I'm happy to be here. I'm starting to feel like home. Today, we are talking about ignorance or ego. Like, you always got to check yourself. Like, am I making this decision from a place of ignorance? Am I making this decision from my ego? Or am I actually using logic? Right? And so that's the one that, you know, we usually, like, we save that. We keep that in the back seat for some reason. But I want you to start thinking about that. Are you making this decision because you don't know? Are you making this decision because you know and you want to be strong and wrong? That's ego. Or are you making a logical decision? It's always what I want you to ask yourself. So we're talking about real estate and how I love real estate, even though I'm not showing you real estate because I want to get in and out of the car in the hot sun in South Florida and deal with your indecisiveness. But we are talking about real estate and how it is a great source of passive income for you. And real estate in all its glory, there's a time for everything. There's a season for every single thing, right? It's October. In some places, it's cold. So that means, I guess it will be fall. I'm in Miami. It's still like summer to us, right? Until it goes to 50 degrees and everyone's freezing. But there's a season for everything. Where it's cold right now or cooler, it's fall. They are no longer wearing like bikinis and flip-flops and stuff like that. They aren't doing that anymore because it's not that season. So it's not the season for you to be actually pulling the trigger and buying real estate. It's the season for you to be getting your stuff together. And by getting your stuff together, it's a season for you to be saying, let me stack my cash so that when the market changes, I can have the money that I need to be able to pick these properties up, because they getting ready to act a fool. They getting ready. They got stated income is back. All these fancy lending programs, they getting ready to be balling. And when the morning after happens and that hangover hits, you're going to be there to be like, oh, you was balling when you bought that property that you knew wasn't a good deal anyway, but you didn't care. Oh, I'm going to pick it up from the bank for pennies on the dollar. And now it's my property because I didn't move off of my ego. Another way ego shows up when dealing with real estate is when you have been educated. So I'm going to take ignorance off the table. When you have been educated about the very simple fact, and this is a fact, I don't care how you cut it, what your belief is, I'm telling you right now that your primary residence, your house, the house that you live in, if you own that house, it is a liability and not an asset. Let me say this to you again. Your primary residence that you have a mortgage on, that you love so much and you like to decorate and have all your friends come over and have these fancy dinner parties and have the bling bling napkin holders and such. It's a liability. It's not an asset. So I want you to think about that. I know you're like, whoa, no, this is an asset. That's what they told me to do. The American dream said, this is what you do. You graduate from high school, you go to college, you engage, you sign your name on the dotted line for thousands of dollars for student loan debt. After you do that, you get married, then you buy a house and get into more debt. And I'm telling you right now on this beautiful Saturday morning that your house is a liability. Why is it a liability? It's a liability because it does not produce any income for you. When we talk assets, when you think about assets, I want you to think about, add a word in front of it, income producing assets. If it does not produce income for you, then is it really an asset? Well, Hyacinth, why do you say that? I say that because you need income. Like, you need some money. If you don't have any income, what are you doing? And most people have only one source of income. That's the job that you go to. So speaking of your house, if you lose your one source of income, who's paying for the house? Liability. It's a liability. The primary residence that you live in is a liability. Okay, boom. Well, Hyacinth, I could sell my house, and if I bought it low and I could sell it high, then I'm going to make some money. Are you really going to make some money? Because you've been living in that house, and since it's your house, when the water heater went out, you had to fix it. When you needed a new AC and it was 10 grand, you had to do it. When you needed a new roof and it was 20 grand, you had to put. So don't just think about, hey, I bought this house 10 years ago or 20 years ago for $100,000. Let me speak correct. I bought this house for $100,000, and here we are 10 years later, and I'm selling it for $200,000. Whoa, that's a $100,000 profit. Cut it out. No, it's not. It is not, because you've paid mortgages, interest, upkeep, property taxes, repairs, and most times people don't factor that in, because average American, you don't do that. You don't think that way. So this is what we're doing on this Saturday morning. Y'all got me up. I'm waking you up. Like, get up, wake up. I'm up. You got to get up. I'm up at 6 a.m. You got to get up and wake up your life. Wake up your life and understand that your house, your primary residence, is a liability and not an asset. It's not an asset because you have to trade time for dollars to pay for it. And aside from that, it don't make you no money. It's like your kids. It's like your kids are your broke best friends. I love mine dearly. They always want something. But your house always needs something. You got to do something for it. Okay? So when you think about real estate and people come into my office and they're like, I want to buy my property because, they say I should buy a property and I want to be a first-time home buyer. Okay, boom. Let me educate you. Why don't you consider your first real estate property being an investment property? What do you mean, Hyacinth? Well, I want to get out because I want to show all my friends that I got a house, and my friend got a condo and I want a condo, and they got a house and I want a house, and I want to do this. Wait a minute. That's your ego talking. It may be ignorance, maybe a little bit of both, but let me explain it to you from a logical standpoint. From a logical standpoint, you want to purchase or consider purchasing an investment property, something that is going to generate income. The reason why you want to do that is because you want to get to the point that you don't have to go to work to pay for your house. Like, if you lose your job, who's going to pay your mortgage? But if you got this investment property over here that's throwing off income because you bought right. When I say bought right, you didn't just buy a property right now when everybody's getting rid of their properties. You didn't buy a property. You bought right when the time was right. And so the numbers check out. And when the numbers check out, you're able to purchase an investment property or a rental income property that is throwing off monthly income. As that property is throwing off monthly income, you aren't balling every week with that. Like you're saying, okay, boom, this property is throwing off monthly income. I'm stacking this. And I'm stacking it hopefully to buy another property. You're stacking it because you need reserves, but you're also stacking it so that you get to the point that it starts to then pay for the things that you want. So your first property, consider this. If you're approved for a mortgage, if you are approved, if your credit and income or soon to be stated income is good enough to qualify you to buy a primary residence, I want you to consider saying, let me buck the system. Let me use this approval to buy an income producing property. Income. That is the name of the game. I don't care if you're retired. I don't care if you're pre-retired. I don't care if you're just starting out. You need income. That's what you want. If you don't have income, you're not gonna be able to pay your bills. Like that's just how that goes. That's how it goes. They say that this is land of the free, but ain't nothing free. So you need income. Income is something that you always need to be thinking about. So when you think about real estate and when you think about getting into real estate, and Hyacinth is telling me that it's such a great thing, let's go back to that passive income. Passive income is what I like to call making money while you meditate. I'm a meditator. Some people say making money while you sleep. The point is making money and you aren't trading time for dollars. So you want to see how you can build sources of passive income. Real estate is a great way to do that. I love real estate, although I'm not showing you property, taking you out in South Florida hot sun with your indecisiveness, not doing it. As you think about real estate, as you think about generating sources of passive income, as you think about stacking your cash and your credit, think about purchasing your first property. Your first property should be an income producing property. So what does this mean? This means you're going to have to tuck your ego. This means you're going to have to put your ego aside and continue to rent. This means you're going to have to put your ego aside and live with others. This means y'all going to have to like 3 families in the house. Whatever the case may be, you're going to have to do that because you have a master plan. For those of you who don't know, I always tell my dad he kicked me out. I wasn't ready to go. He kicked me out. No, like I wasn't a bad kid. I'm still the favorite of 5. I love to say that. He doesn't deny it, doesn't confirm it because he don't want to hurt the other 4 feelings. But he kicked me out because I was like grown. I can't remember how old I was. And, well, this was 2007. So what was that? Like 26? Yeah. Wow. It's been, was it 2007? Yeah, I was 26. Anyway, 26. And he was like, started dropping hints. Don't you want your own space now? I'm like, no. Don't you want to take company at your house? No, I'm good. I'm good over here. I'm fine. And the reason why I was telling him no was because I was buying investment property. I had like 3-4 unit properties at that time. Me and my daughter were living with him. Like I'm paying, buying groceries, going to Costco, balling out. That's my contribution to the house. Why do I want to move out and get somewhere to live? Like why I want to do that? And they were like, it's time. It's just time. And that's how they kicked me out. But in my mind, I'm like, why do I want a mortgage where I have to, for a house that I live in when I got these mortgages over here and these tenants are paying for it and I'm stacking my money? And so people, I think, get so caught up in wanting to have their own space and wanting to look like they're really balling or look like they're successful or look like they have it all and aren't willing to make the sacrifice. And that is very important. Like, let me say that again. I was 26 years old. How am I? I'm 38 now. So this was like 12 years ago. I'm still not over that. Maybe I need to go to therapy for that. Okay, I guess I am over it. I mean, my life is pretty great. So, but I was 26 and he was like, you got to go. You got to go get your own stuff, buy somewhere for you to actually live in. Nowadays, people are racing to get out of their parents' houses. They're racing to feel like they have to buy a property for them to live in. And I'm just like, y'all got it backwards. That's average American stuff. That as soon as I graduate and I get me a job somewhere someone's paying me and they could not pay me at any time. As soon as I do that, I'm then going to go sign my name on the dotted line for hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? $200,000, $300,000, big money. I'm going to commit to this for 30 years and hope that somebody pay me every month so that I can in turn pay the bank. That don't make logical sense. That's your ego. Before this conversation, it was ignorance. But now that we're having this conversation, you cannot say ignorance anymore. If you're already there, then all right, you know better, you're going to do better going forward. But if you are not there, if you're listening to the sound of my voice and you're getting pressure from your family, friends, neighbors, whoever, like when you're going to buy your house, oh, you still renting. Oh, you know, y'all 5 families deep over there. Like, tell them, silence that. That's average American thinking. Now, what you cannot be doing is renting and sharing space and 5 families deep in one house and spending all your money. So what the goal is for you to be doing is while you're doing this, understand the position that you're in. You are pre-gaming. What do I mean by pre-gaming? You're setting yourself up. I told you plenty of times on today's show, cash and credit. You're pre-gaming. You're like, boom, I'm renting. We're D'd up over here. We're sharing space. We're in a twin size mattress. We're renting, whatever the case may be. Boom, boom, boom. But I'm stacking this money. And I'm stacking the money because I have a goal. And you have a goal and you have intention. If you have a goal and you have intention, then when the market shifts, then you're going to do what? You're not going out to buy the big house on the hill. You know better. Ignorance is off the table. You're going out to buy a property that is actually going to give you some income. That's what you're doing. And then if you really want to get fancy, you want to do it again and again and again and again and again. So it all really boils down to ignorance or ego or logic. Like, it's ignorance and ego is on one side of the fence. And I understand ignorance. Like I told y'all already, I don't know how to use a power drill. I don't know why I need one. I'm ignorant to the benefits of the world's greatest power drill. However, there are people who would take the world's greatest power drill and build something so fantastically beautiful and great with it because they are not ignorant. That's the same thing with your money. Money is a tool. It's not a tool for you to say, hey, as soon as you pay me, because I traded time for dollars all week, I got to go get rid of it. That's not what you do with a tool. That's the equivalent of you putting that power drill in the drawer, right? And the drawer. Like, I go in and out. You're going to get it, and then you're going to get it, right? So drawer, you know what I mean. It's the equivalent of you putting the power drill in the kitchen drawer or in the garage on the shelf and not using it. Don't do your money like that. Your money is a tool. Money is here for you. Let me tell you what the money game is. You trade time for dollars. As you trade time for dollars, you want to get to the point till you have enough dollars so that you then can start trading dollars for dollars. That's the secret. That's how you become above average. Average says, I am going to continue to trade time for dollars and be so happy that someone is paying me for my time. So I'm going to get into a space of wondering how I can create or how I can earn more dollars for my time. And that's the average American thinking. Your goal is not to be able to figure out how you can earn more dollars for your time. Your ultimate goal in life is to figure out in your financial life, not all life, but in your financial life, is to figure out how you can earn more dollars for your dollars. All right, cool. I got $10. How can I flip this $10 into $100? How can I flip this $100 into $1,000? That's your goal. Your goal is not to keep trading your time for dollars. Your goal is not to treat yourself when you're really cheating yourself. What do I mean by that? You think you're treating yourself when you go buy a new car, but you're cheating yourself because that interest from that car loan is eating you alive. And you know, as soon as you buy the car, it loses value. As soon as you drive it off the lot, it ain't worth nothing no more, right? Like, you try to take it back a month later, like, yeah, this is what we gonna give you for it. So that's cheating yourself, not treating yourself. So ignorance or ego? Or are you moving to the space of logic? Because everything that we talked about on today's show is logic. I don't care what they told you. I don't care what they say on TV, how they say you should do it. Listen, let's not get to talking about the government. They already queuing me. They were queuing me 5 minutes ago to go to commercial. And I was like, nah, we're not doing that. So we definitely don't have time to talk about the government. We don't have time to talk about that. But I want you to think about this. You got to take matters into your own hands. You got to take charge. I already started this show with telling you, if you woke up on this beautiful, fantastic Saturday morning, October 19th, you still got purpose, and your purpose is so divine and beautiful, and you are so deserving of having everything that you desire. Go out there and do something. Do something and stop listening to these people who are feeding you foolishness, and you're stuck on that hamster wheel of lack. You're like, hey, I've been doing this, and I'm not getting nowhere fast. And I'm talking to you, even if you make $300,000 a year. Even if you make $100,000 a year, if your annual salary is $300,000 a year, I am still talking to you. Because guess what? If they call you tomorrow and say, don't come in on Monday, you now make $0 a year. And I want you to look at your bank account. And then I want you to say, where's my income? Because I've been telling you all through the show that income is what you need. All right, how can you find me? Since I like ran through the last commercial break, I know they're going to cut me off early. It's all good. We're having a good time and life is truly great. How can you find me? The website, www.thehendersonfinancialgroup.com. That's the firm's website. My dad started the firm 30 years ago. I've been there 17 years, full service, financial planning and investment advisory. And if you can't tell, we're passionate about what we do. We love having these conversations and educating, because we feel like you got to get this money thing right. Like, we're the financial freedom, superheroes. We want to educate you in such a way and enlighten you in such a way that you feel empowered to make better financial decisions. So that's what we do at the Henderson Financial Group. You can find us online. If you're old school and live by the old rules, I'm cool with the telephone call as well. 305-825-1444. My personal website, where we start talking into mindset and things like that. Like, I know I said we're going to talk about mindset more directly today, but I kind of got caught up. So we'll do that maybe next time. I think I'm going to be out of town next time, but we'll do that soon. But my personal website, where you will see me in action as an abundance guide, is HyacinthHenderson.com. That is www.hyacinth, HyacinthH Henderson.com. Follow me on social media, YouTube, all the radio shows. I record the audio and upload them on YouTube. So if you came in midway, if you want a buddy or your bae, your girlfriend, your bestie, buddy, bae, bestie to listen to this show, like, dang, Hyacinth was spitting some facts in there and you missed it, have no fear. It's going to be up on YouTube soon. So YouTube is Hyacinth Henderson as well. So HyacinthH Henderson, Henderson. Put me in YouTube and then subscribe to my channel. Because apparently if you get like 100 subscribers or a certain amount of subscribers, YouTube starts letting you get fancy with your certain things. So subscribe to the channel, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. What I want you to leave here with today is always be checking yourself. Like, you got to check yourself. It's only you. It's you versus you. It's not you versus your mama, your boss, your sister, your neighbor. What they say really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's always you versus you. And it sounds cliche, but let me have you to think about this. The voice is in your head. And ultimately, the voice in your head is the voice that you listen to. You listen to the voice in your head. You may filter through what other people said to you. You may filter through their opinions and their advice. You may filter through, outside influences, but you ultimately make the decision based upon what you believe. If you believe them, you're going to make a decision that leads to their favor. If you believe you, then you're going to make a decision that is in your favor. So it's always, always, always up to you to change your life. It's up to you to make a new decision. It's up to you to move from being an average American to an above average American. It's up to you, and you honestly and truly have all of the power that you need to do it. Money is not complicated. It's just a tool that you don't know how to use. And that's what we do on the American Cream. I also have a podcast. You can find it on all podcasting platforms. And guess what I named the podcast? I kept it really, really simple. It is the American Cream Podcast with Hyacinth Henderson. Talk about branding. I did that all by myself. If you're into branding, call me because I do need some help. But yeah, the American Cream Podcast, because what we are doing is we're moving you from ignorance. We are moving you out of ignorance so that you can make informed and logical decisions, even if the logic defies the foolishness that people have been drilling into your head. Like, wait till I talk to y'all about 401ks. Wait till I talk to you about who the 401k really benefits. And it's not you. It is not you, because you don't know anyone who's rich off of a 401k. You don't know nobody who retired and is using the money from their 401k to live their best life. If anything, they retired, they have the money from their 401k, and guess what? They own a big, big budget. They took a pay cut. They had to reduce their living expenses and things like that. What part of the game is that? Who says I'm going to work 30 years, 40 years, and I'm going to get to retirement and scale back? Why? Why would I do that? That's foolishness. You've been sold that, and you've been told that in retirement, you got to pull back because, you don't have an income anymore. Who? Not me, because I played the game right. I didn't do what you told and what you sold me. I understood that there was a better way. I was listening to the American Cream Show with Hyacinth Henderson, and she taught me some things. And now that she taught me some things, I know that I don't have to scale back. If I want to scale back, I can scale back, but it's not a must. There's a difference between you having to doing something and you wanting to do something. Two very, very different energies. When you want to do something, you're chipper, you're eager to do it, you're downloaded with a lot of great ideas. You feel great. You feel fantastic. You're radiant as you do it. When you have to do something, you are dragging. You're dragging. You're half behind doing it. You ain't really showing up to the party. You like, all right, I'm here. You're missing all sort of goodness and stuff. There's a difference. So what I want you to think about, what I want you to understand and get through your head is, it's a better way. They're waving me down. They're like, Hyacinth, you renegade. You cut through the commercial. Lady, we got to go. You're a woman taking over the man radio station. Like, why are you doing this? You're right. I won't say I'm going to do better next week. We got to talk about those commercials. But again, you're listening to the American Cream Show. I'm your host, Hyacinth Henderson. Whenever you hear my voice, you know I'm not a man. I'm the woman on the Man Show. Until next week, peace.
You've been listening to the American Cream Podcast, the #1 audio production show for people who want to achieve the American dream with cream. Love this episode of the American Cream? Head over to your favorite podcast platform to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It's very much appreciated. Thank you. For free resources and materials, go to theamericancreampodcast.com.